Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and damn, we have a lot to talk about in today's live stream, and a lot of news has come out, and I wasn't live yesterday, thought I'd take a day off, refresh, and today we've got a lot of news to talk about. Oh my god, I will be covering a lot of things in today's video, so make sure you stay tuned, of course, hit that like button, and subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. On the road to 20,000 subscribers now, obviously on the road to 16k first of all, but what we're going to talk about. So, Varane and Trippier deal to be done next week. That's the story that's come out. Varane terms agreed, the deal to be done when he returns from holiday. That's the story out. We're talking about that, giving you more detail on these reports, who it's come from, what's been said, quoting as well. No more MCFRED. Pardon me. So I'm a bit burpy today, but no more MCFRED apparently. No plans for MCFRED next season. We're not playing them both in the pivot. Ollie wants to go to a 4-3-3. We'll be covering that story. Our preseason game on Sunday, which I think I'll do a watch along for. I just need to double check something. But there's a preseason game on Sunday versus Derby County. We're giving you the latest on CAMAVINGA. Paul Pogba likely to stay. Alex Tellers will not leave Manchester United, and a lot more to talk about. We are going to start though with the Raphael Varane sort of news, aren't we? But Adam Talk Sports said, why no Sancho announcement? Quick question that I'll answer before I get into the news. No one knows. The Sancho announcement was to be today or yesterday, I think. But there's this rumour that the person in charge of United, admin or whoever, actually lost the memory stick with the Sancho video on. But it's just a rumour. It has not been confirmed. But imagine United's biggest deal ever, you lose the memory stick. He's going to be getting sacked. He's getting sacked in the morning if that's true. And all of that. But let's get right into the news. So the Sun came out and said that Manchester United are close to completing moves for Raphael Varane and Kieran Trippier for £50 million and £80 million respectively. Both deals are all but done, with announcements expected towards the end of next week. So they're saying Man United and Trippier. So Man United are going to get Trippier for £18 million and Man United are going to get Varane for £50 million. Both deals will be done towards the end of next week. Both deals are pretty much all but done. That is what the Sun said. Now, it's come from the Sun, so you do have to take it with a pinch of salt. But a lot of other English journalists that get information from Man United have been saying, look, we're going for Varane, we're going to get Varane. We've basically been told we're going to sign Varane. I could sit here and say, look, Varane will join Man United, but there's a chance I will be and I don't feel like I'm lying if I say that, but obviously it's Man United. We're used to being disappointed, and the Trippier news is heat up massively. Romano's had some things to say, but we know Varane and Trippier to Man United is very, very likely deals, and the Sun biting off a bullet said that both deals will be done by the end of next week. And if they're right, they're right. Sometimes the Sun get things right, but you can't trust the Sun. But they're saying these deals are all but done. So that is the really, really interesting story coming in. But there's a lot of news that's come out about Varane in the last 24 hours from some very, very reliable journalists. So that is what I'm going to talk about. The deal being done. There's questions about the deal to be done next week. The deal to be done when he's back from holiday. Personal terms agreed. I'm going to get into everything that's been said. So first of all, Fabrizio Romano went on the Don Robbie channel and said, regarding Varane to Manchester United, it's not done yet, but it's progressing now because United are in direct contact with Real Madrid. So Fabrizio Romano's confirmed we are now in direct contact with Real Madrid for Raphael Varane. They're progressing in talks with the player. United are ready to give him what he wants. So Romano's already said before, personal terms isn't an issue. What Romano said is we're talking to Varane, we're ready to give him what he wants. So we're going to agree personal terms officially with Varane any day, any minute now. There's rumours that we've already agreed them, but we're waiting for the Fabrizio Romano confirmation that we've agreed them. We're going to agree personal terms with Varane any minute, any day now. He said, look, United are ready to give Varane what he wants. Personal terms not an issue. Wage is not an issue. And what Romano said today is that we are in direct talks with Real Madrid. This deal is progressing. So that's really, really interesting information from Fabrizio Romano on transfers. Samuel Lockhurst from the Manchester Evening News, who gets information from the club itself, says that a late July deal is preferable for Raphael Varane to Manchester United. Sources close to the player say that they would be stunned if a deal does not happen. Varane wants to finish his holiday, change clubs, and get stuck into training with United. So the Manchester Evening News has said, look, they will be absolutely stunned. Everyone around Varane will be absolutely stunned if this deal doesn't happen. Basically saying that this deal is going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it will be mad. Late July is when it's going to happen, which kind of correlates with what the Sun was saying late next week. That's late July. Everyone's saying, look, come on, next week, that deal's going to be done. Once Varane finishes holiday, this deal's like to be done and all of that. And we know Varane wants to come to Man United. And that is I'd say Samuel Lockhurst in a weird way is kind of, top tier 2 journalists. I'm not going to put the tier 1, but some people would, to be fair. And then Dia Rizal, which is a tier 2 journalist, said that Raphael Varane's departure from Real Madrid is getting a lot closer. He could leave in the next few days if negotiations between Madrid and Manchester United accelerate. That's also come out from Dia, which makes sense. And then Jonathan Schrager has said the online enthusiasm of Manchester United supporters actually appealed Varane in his decision to join Manchester United. So all the Varane edits, all of us wanting Varane. You know what? We're the best fan base in the world for a reason, you know. Arsenal going in for Ben White because that's the best centre-back they can sign. We're going for a World Cup winner, a Champions League winner, a Real Madrid player because there's levels. Because we are the best fan base in football. Hated, adored, but never ignored because it's true. Because the second Man United get linked to Varane, everyone is saying that Varane's an overrated shit footballer in the rivals' heads. George Calabres, that's how you say his name, Tier 2 journalist, also said that Raphael Varane has decided to join Manchester United. United will make a formal offer in the coming days. If the offer is more than 50 million euros, Varane will become a Manchester United player in the coming days. The deal is closer than ever. So every fucking journalist under the planet, whether it's an English journalist, whether it's a Spanish journalist, whether it's a fucking French journalist, whether it's Fabrizio Romano, is basically saying Varane to Man United is close, contacts are happening, all of that. We know personal terms isn't an issue, and reports out of Spain are saying, look, we give Real Madrid anything more than 50 million euros, Varane is ours. We want Varane, I think that's going to happen, and every source is indicating this Varane deal is all but done. Like, it's so close to being done. You know, personal terms probably could be agreed right now, but we haven't had Romano confirm they agree, but they basically are agreed. Varane is all but done. And, you know, they say Trippier could be done as well. And all these stories are linking up. And the news about Varane, very strong positive indication that Varane is set to be a Man United player. And Mohamed Boussafani, who is a Tier 1 journalist, really reliable journalist, came out last night and said that Manchester United and Raphael Varane have almost reached contact agreements. Discussions are advanced between the two parties. So a Tier 1 journalist last night said that we're very, very close to finding an agreement. And we know from Romano, he said that agreement isn't far away. Man United are willing to offer Varane what he wants. So another Tier 1 reliable journalist has said that we're so close to finding an agreement with Varane. I will cover a few live comments in just a second. So any questions for me, please do pop them in the live chat and I will try and read and reply to as many questions as possible. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football, hit that like button, share the video, all of that. So I'm going to read out a few live chats and then I will get into the Trippier news. Say says, honestly, the reports say next week, but would you trust it though? Exactly. You can never trust it with United, but I do think end of July is very, very likely. Jadon Sancho says 4-3-3. Hell yeah, we will be talking about no more McFred next season. The plans to use a 4-3-3. Sancho was on holiday, but he did go to Manchester about 3 days ago to have his medical and his announcement video released. But the announcement video, for some reason, hasn't been released. But I am answering a few questions. So got them down below. If we sign Trippier, do you think we'll have the money to buy a CDM? Says Sachin. Probably not, unless Paul Pogba goes. And there's a story about Paul Pogba staying, so probably not. If you say no, McFred, who would you want to be CDM? I mean, that's the thing. We don't have an out-and-out CDM, so there's talk about no McFred next season, but who's going to play CDM? We will be talking about that later. Has Sancho been announced yet? Sancho hasn't been. Has Sancho finally been announced? Please tell me Sancho's finally been announced. Please tell me Sancho's not been announced. I don't know what is going on with Sancho. Can they just announce the fucking deal? Honestly, whatever. I don't know why they haven't announced Sancho. If it isn't true by next week, that's their reputation gone. Well, a lot of journalists are saying Varane is going to join Man United by the end of July. A lot of journalists, I mean, they're saying the deal is all but done. It's that close to being done. So, look, if Varane doesn't join Man United, I'll be stunned. Varane will be stunned. Everyone will be stunned. Like, we basically agreed terms with him. You know, 50 million euros and he's ours. Tier 1 journalist Fabrizio Romano saying Varane wants United. We're in talks with them. It's confirmed we're in contact with Real Madrid. It's confirmed Real Madrid wants to sell because they need to raise funds for Mbappe. It's confirmed Varane wants to leave. It's confirmed United will pay the money Varane wants. So, look, if this deal doesn't happen between Varane and Man United, I'd be shocked. The Trippier one was more surprising because we were linked to Trippier, then it kind of fell through. Then we're linked to Trippier again. But you know what? I think we'll sign Trippier and Varane. I know it's come from the Sun, so you do have to take it up a pinch of salt. But as I said, I do think there's a lot of chance we sign Trippier and Varane. This guy says, I don't care how good the window is because in the end, Glazers will be Glazers. Solid point. Who do you reckon will be our CDM specialist if we get one? We probably won't get one. That's the sad truth. I heard Trippier wants out of Madrid. Yeah, Trippier apparently wants to leave Real Madrid and come back to England. United, obviously, the favourites to get. And we will read out some more Trippier news in just a sec, so stay tuned for that. So when will Jadon Sancho deal officially be announced? As I have no idea because it was meant to be announced yesterday, and I think something went wrong somewhere. Utopia says, Ethiopia, sorry. Even if we sign Trippier, no need for Varane, Bissaka will play on the centre-back position. I think it would be better if Bissaka plays centre-back position. Alice, what do you think? I don't want to see Wan Bissaka as centre-back because I don't think his positioning is good enough personally, you know. I mean, I'd rather see him as a CDM than a centre-back, to be fair. Ultra says, Alice, I think Rashford should have missed the Euros. It's obviously an underlying injury. Ollie should have said something to Southgate, but he's staying put. Yeah, I think Rashford should have missed the Euros. He barely played anyway, but you know what? Rashford wants to be in the Euros. It's Rashford. Let's go Varane. Yeah, Varane deal is very, very close. We'll talk a little bit about Varane towards the end of the live stream, but all but done is the report regarding Varane. And Mr. Randomizer said, I'd be happy by far with no McFred, but I'm still playing one of them off the 4-3-3 formation, Donny, Pogba, Bruno. I don't think Donny, Pogba, Bruno works, so I think you would have to do Fred, Pogba, Bruno, but hopefully we get a CDM, maybe a Camavinga come in and all of that. Who doesn't love to slander Arsenal? Well, banter FC. You know what's funny? Arsenal are telling us Varane's a flop. Arsenal fans are telling us Varane's a flop. They're telling us Sancho's a waste of money, but Arsenal fans don't realise we're going to get Varane and Jadon Sancho for less money than they're going to get Ben White and Nicolas Pepe for. But I think Varane and Sancho will be £5-10 million cheaper than Ben White and Nicolas Pepe, or we've done the better business. I tell you this now, if Varane was linked to Arsenal, if Varane was about to join Arsenal, every Arsenal fan will be saying Varane's the best centre-back in the Premier League. They start saying he's better than Van Dijk. Every Arsenal fan will be saying he's better than Diaz, or he's top 3 centre-backs in the league. They'll be saying how good Varane was. Yeah? Now Varane's going to United, everyone's slandering him. It's because we live rent-free, hate, adore, but never ignored. Because I tell you what, Arsenal fans are coming at me on Twitter. They're coming at me on TikTok. And do you know what they're saying? Ben White's better than Maguire. If Ben White's better than Maguire, why is Ben White England's 5th choice centre-back and Maguire England's 1st choice centre-back? And look, you could say, look, you know, Grealish plays behind Mount and all of that. Yeah, that's fine. But Grealish is 2nd choice behind Mount. You know, I'm talking 5th choice. And Tyrone Mings plays ahead of him. Connor Cody. Oh, the Arsenal fans, so deluded, aren't they? So deluded. With Ollie wants to play 4-3-3, we now desperately need a CDM specialist. Yeah, I'm going to quickly cover this story, actually, while we're here. So the news coming out is that Ollie wants to play a 4-3-3 and does not plan the McTominay Fred certain thing coming out. You know, Ollie wants to play a 4-3-3 next season. Look, God, I hope this is true. Please be true. We don't want to see McFred. No, McFred is like a new signing. But the only situation is like, cool, you want to play a 4-3-3, Ollie, but how? We don't have an out-and-out CDM other than Matic. But maybe we're going to sign a CDM. Lingard could be going. We could get Camavinga. Let's be positive. Who knows? But rumour is that Ollie does not plan to use McTominay and Fred together in the midfield next season. And to be fair, if we're desperately trying to keep Paul Pogba, Bruno Pogba got to play in that midfield, because now we've got Sancho. I know Rashford's injured, but let's not be sticking Paul Pogba on the left for this McFred shit. Paul Pogba, Bruno, and a CDM is what we need. Now, Ollie wants to do that, but will he get back? Will he get a CDM? That is the question. That we've got Sancho, we've got Varane, we've got Trippier. That's a very good transfer window, but we haven't got a CDM. And do I trust the board to get a CDM? No. Maybe Camavinga, but he's not an out-and-out CDM, and is he ready? Maybe we keep James Garner around if he looks good in pre-season. That'd be a classic United thing to do, but I think he needs a loan, because if Donny can't play over McFred, I can't see James Garner playing over McFred. But look, if we go into next season when we don't see any McFred anymore, look, I don't mind McTominay playing, I don't mind Fred playing, but I do not want them in the pivot when we can play Paul Pogba in the pivot or Donny Van de Beek in the pivot. It'll be really, really interesting to see where that goes. Any questions for me, please do pop them down below in the live chat. And of course, subscribe to Alice Talks Football. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel down below. Watch alongs, match reactions, match previews, all of that coming up on the Alice Talks Football channel. We're also 15 subscribers away from 15.2k. 15 subscribers away from 15.2k. So do make sure you're subscribed on the road to 15.2k, on the big road to 20k. Bissaka or Trippier, who should start if we sign them? I think Wan-Bissaka, but in games where we're playing teams that are going to sit back against us and part of the bus, maybe Trippier for his ability going forward. And I think Trippier, Sancho could link up well. Adam Talk Sports says plot twist, Sancho medical failed. I do not know why they have not announced Sancho yet. It's an absolute mad one. I generally think the admins lost the clip. Surely the admins lost the clip. Oh, honestly, it's an absolute mad one. Please get any questions to me down in the live chat, then I'll get into a little bit more transfer news. They will put Sancho in a United shirt when the shirt sales start to drop. Probably. Have you seen the hour links? Yes, I have seen the hour links. Let me read this. Actually, I have this written in my notes. I have this somewhere written in my notes. Let me find it. I can't find it, but it is written in my notes that we are linked to Aouar somewhere. But there's a French midfielder that was linked to Lyon a lot last season, has been linked to Manchester United in Aouar, however the fuck you say his name, who actually knows, as a potential Paul Pogba replacement. But I don't see anything in it. However, it has come from Julian Lawrence of ESPN saying, you know, regarding uncertainty surrounding Paul Pogba's future, Manchester United are monitoring Houssem Aouar's situation, even though Arsenal and Spurs lead the chase. Solskjaer views him as a good replacement for Pogba and would offer 25 million euros, could be enough to sign Aouar because obviously his contract's running down. That has come out from Julian Lawrence, who's a very, very reliable journalist, and he's saying, look, because we don't know about Paul Pogba, but again, I don't think there's anything in that. I think we're monitoring him, monitoring FC. He said we're monitoring him. We are monitoring FC. We're monitoring about 1,000 players. We're monitoring about 1,000 players, but there's only 4 players we're in contact with, and that is CAMAVINGA, that is Varane, that is Trippier, and obviously that was Sancho. There's only 4 players we've been in contact with. We haven't been in contact with Aouar, so I'm not going to cover it in too much detail until there's reports that, you know, United are in contact for that player and all of that. Please do hit that like button, of course, subscribe down below, and share the video. On the road to 15.2k subscribers. We are 13 subscribers away from 15.2k, so please do make sure you subscribe down below. Basuma Sakaria, I can't pronounce the third one, but they would all be good CDMs at Manchester United. No news is good news, says Ultra. And do you think there'll be surprise signing in the summer rather than Varane? Well, I think Varane's going to sign for Man United end of July. The deal is all but done, as I said. I think Trippier could happen. I also think there's a chance Camavinga would happen. But I could sit here and say, look, Varane's 80% going to happen. No, I'm going to say Varane's 90% going to happen. I'm 90% sure Raphael Varane will join Man United. With Trippier, I'm 60% sure. With Camavinga, I'm 50% sure. But I'm sure, as reported the other day by the Manchester Evening News, it will be Raphael Varane and it'll be one more player to join Manchester United this summer. We know the latest on the Varane situation. United are in contact with Real Madrid. Varane's told Real Madrid he wants to leave. Varane is looking at houses in Manchester. Man United offered Varane the wages he wants. Personal terms unofficially agreed. Varane wants United, 50 million euros. Real Madrid will accept him. Man United is set to pay that money next week, get the Varane deal over the line for when Varane finishes his holiday and he comes to Old Trafford. He puts on the Man United shirt and he's Harry Maguire's partner next season. That is the situation. And Romano said the deal's progressing, and you know, the Manchester Evening News, the Sun, a lot of journalists saying end of July Varane will be a Manchester United player. That is like the interesting news coming out. Varane might be back for the final game of pre-season, but I think Varane's going to miss the first 2 games of pre-season, considering the first game is against Derby, literally on Sunday. And I think I'm going to do a watch-along for the Man United versus Derby game. So please do subscribe down below for a match reaction and watch-along to that game. And, of course, daily Man United transfer news. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, do subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any of the news. The second we sign Raphael Varane and it's officially done, I will do a live stream. The second we sign Kieran Trippier, there'll be a live stream. If we sign Camavinga or about to sign Camavinga, there'll be a live stream. If we sell a player, if we buy a player, there'll be a live stream. If Pogba stays, there'll be a live stream to let you know. So if you want to stay informed with all the latest Manchester United news, please do subscribe and all that. All of you guys that have just joined the live chat, we know that Mohamed Basfani's tweeted last night that, you know, Man United and Varane are very, very close to agreeing personal terms. We know Romano confirmed that the deal was close. United will pay Varane the money he wants, and there's talks going on with Man United and Real Madrid. And stories coming out today is when Varane finishes holiday, Man United will offer 50 million euros for Raphael Varane, which Real Madrid will accept, and Varane will become a Manchester United player. And everyone would be shocked if Varane does not become a Manchester United player this summer, as he is pushing for the move. He wants to leave, and apparently the Man United fans played a big part in Varane when it comes to Manchester United. So that is all the really interesting news regarding Raphael Varane. Rebuild FC says Trippier is good going forward and on free kicks as a bonus. And Wan-Bissaka could sit out games at Old Trafford where we're going to struggle with the ball anyway, because when we struggle to break down teams, I think we use Trippier in, you know, like the weaker games, in the sense where people are going to be more defensive. You know, you want Wan-Bissaka as your top 6 right back because you know Wan-Bissaka can deal with Sterling. You know Wan-Bissaka can deal with any player on his side. But yeah, I do think that Kieran Trippier would probably play in games like Burnley. I hate playing Burnley. Burnley and Wolves. Any questions for me, please do put them down below in the live chat. Arsenal placing that gun with a water pistol. Honestly, that is Arsenal for you. I heard Trippier deals close to 20 million euros. Yeah, 18 million pounds. So that's 20 million euros for Kieran Trippier. Now, the only thing that annoys me about 20 million pounds for Kieran Trippier is I'm just thinking like, 20 million pounds for Kieran Trippier. We could have got Sumer from Lille for 20 million pounds, a CDM. We should have got Cooper Miners from AZ, 20 mil. I still think the CDM is way more important than the backup right back. I understand a backup right back because Dalot is probably going to go for 15, 20 million pounds. So what we get for Dalot we're going to spend on Trippier, but I just do think, like, surely we should have invested that on a CDM. Arsenal getting Ben White and failed Locatelli. Arsenal can't get anyone because they're shit. Who wants to go for a mid-table club but can't get in Europe? Like, poor bloody Saka. Saka was so close to winning a trophy. He has to go out to Arsenal and go, oh, I'm never going to win a trophy with them lot. They're shit. You know, poor old Saka. I felt more, you know what? I feel sorry for Arsenal. Such a shit club. Such a banter club, aren't they? If we get Varane, we'll be a better team. I agree. I actually think Varane, I've said this time and time again, I actually think Varane will have more impact on Man United than Sancho will, because if you get Varane, you have a centre-back that goes next to Maguire. You get the best out of Harry Maguire. Because we're having a pacey centre-back at the back, we don't need McFred. We play our worst games with McFred in the midfield. Because he's got pace, we can play a high line, press higher up the pitch, attackers get more of the ball, score more goals, create more chances. I think Varane benefits the attack and the defence, and I think Varane is just as good a signing as Kieran Trippier. Mr. Randomizer says Arsenal won't even get top 10. They'll be in the bottom of the table this season. Ben White is Ben shite. Do you know what's really funny? You know, that really deluded Arsenal fans. Well, Beast, is it? He was like, what's stopping Arsenal from challenging for the Premier League next season? I'm thinking, fucking hell, you scrape 8th place and you think you're going to win the Premier League next season just because you've signed Ben White. Ben White, you saying that Ben White's going to take you from 8th to Premier League champions? Fuck off. Honestly. I'm being realistic. Man United finished second. We're going to sign Sancho, Varane, and probably Trippier. And I still think Man City are going to win the Premier League next season. And we're better than Arsenal. We would have signed better players. But yet this Arsenal fan says, what is stopping Arsenal from winning the Premier League next season? Fucking everything. Your manager, your players, your shit. I actually laughed when I saw that. I just thought, bloody hell. Martial should start on the left wing because Marcus is out for 2 weeks. I agree. Or if we need to rest Cavani, because Cavani won't be able to play week in, week out, Martial striker, Greenwood right, Sancho left, because Sancho can play it on the left wing and stuff. This guy's asked me about any possible outgoings from Manchester United, and there was a rumour about Alex Telles. However, Fabrizio Romano did debunk the Alex Telles rumour, but I think Dan James could go. I think Williams will go out on loan. I think Tuanzebe to Newcastle was a story floating around. Tuanzebe to Newcastle. I think that was a loan, though. The loan's likely to go. Lingard, we'll probably find out towards the end of the window. Pereira's going to go, and hopefully, pray to God, that Phil Jones bloody goes, because we do not need that Phil Jones at United. No disrespect to Phil Jones, but you're shy. You're shy. Why do we not go for the Rand CDM? We are going for him, but it's a matter of can we get him? Will he go? It's like, I think with the CAMAVINGA, it's like Real Madrid want him, Chelsea want him, like everyone wants him. So yeah, we could get him, but does he want us? You know, Varane to United, 90% going to happen. I was 75% now. I'm now 90% sure Varane will join Manchester United this summer. I mean, it's basically done this deal. You know, this deal was all but done, as said by the Sun. But CAMAVINGA, on the other hand, PSG are the favourites. You know, we've always been the favourites for Raphael Varane, but with CAMAVINGA, PSG are the favourites. So it's a really, you know, I think that's the reason. But hopefully we can get him. And all of that. Some reports saying Varane has not made his mind up, but that's from like tier 3, tier 4 sources. Like Fabrizio Romano is basically saying Varane wants to come. All the reliable sources are saying Varane wants to come. So I believe the tier 1 sources. And all of that. If Sancho failed his medical, that would be the worst. Sancho didn't fail his medical. He went right on holiday. We know by now if Sancho failed his medical. Mark Prescott says, we do need a CDM as well as two. Mention sell Lingard and get Donny a CDM with more funds. We do need a CDM. We need to sell Lingard for 25, 30 million. We need to sell Delo. We need to sell a lot of players and get funds. You know, I don't want to see this loaning out players. I don't want to see giving Deadwood new contracts. Sell them, get rid and all of that. Still waiting for the Sancho announcement picture with the new kit. I don't know why they're waiting so long to announce Sancho. Mr. Randomizer says, I'd rather have Trippier 100%, otherwise you've got Williams to replace Wan-Bissaka if he's injured and Delo's still out on loan. Exactly, and even for Williams' career, like Williams is a good player, I think. He just deserves game time, and it's like, if Williams stays around, he's not going to get game time, so it benefits Williams more if he leaves, but it also benefits us more because Trippier is obviously better than Brandon Williams, so I do agree with that one, to be fair. Who do you think United should sign as a CDM? I mean, I'd love Wilfred and Ndidi, but if I was going to be realistic, I mean, Declan Rice is semi-realistic if Pogba goes. Basuma, probably, because Brighton want Dan James. Sakaria, Locatelli. Cooper Miles would have been a good one. There's just so many good young CDMs out there. The Palinha I'd even take, to be fair. I'll take anyone at CDM because we've got none. We've got an ageing Matic. Why are United taking so long to announce Sancho? I've been asked so many times and I have no idea. Apparently they lost the clip. That is the rumour going around, that they lost the Sancho announcement video. Classic United. Any questions for me? Please do pop them down below in the live chat. I'll be trying to read and reply to as many questions as possible. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. If you want to keep up to date with all the transfer news, do subscribe down below. We've got a watch along for the Man United derby game on Sunday. We've got a transfer news video tomorrow night, updating you on some more transfer news tomorrow night. So if you want to stay up to date on the transfer news, please do subscribe down below. Hit that like button, share this video and all that. We are 9 subscribers away from 15.2k. 9 subscribers away. So please do keep subscribing and all of that. Sancho done, Trippier, Varane, both wanted plus a midfielder as well now. Yes, and Paul Pogba could stay. I'm actually going to read out the Paul Pogba news very, very quickly. So Rob Dawson of ESPN said that Paul Pogba and Van der Beek have been linked to moves away from Old Trafford, but Man United expect them both to stay. Rob Dawson's a semi-reliable journalist saying that Man United expect both Paul Pogba and Van der Beek to stay. Now, that's a good thing, but I think if Paul Pogba and Van der Beek stay, as Romano said earlier in the transfer window, very unlikely we sign a CDM. Julian Lawrence, very, very reliable journalist, said, you know, due to uncertainty around Paul Pogba's future, we could be looking at Hassam Aouar, but, you know, I would take that with a pinch of salt. And talking of the Trippier news, Samuel Lutka said Kieran Trippier is optimistic about joining Manchester United before the transfer window closes, as he is confident a transfer to United will materialise. So, obviously, the Sun came out earlier today, unless you've been living under a rock, and saying that Varane and Trippier to Man United is all but done. Both deals are expected to be done and completed the end of next week. So, in a week's time, the Sun say that we're going to sign Trippier and Varane. The Manchester Evening News coordinate with this, saying that Varane is realistic. You know, he expects the deal to happen. Varane will be shocked if he doesn't join Man United. He wants to join Man United. And Samuel Lutka, who's a very, very reliable journalist, a lot more reliable than the Sun, also said that, you know, Kieran Trippier is optimistic about joining Man United before the transfer window closes, and is confident what happens. So the Manchester Evening News back up the Sun's story. So even though this story came from the Sun that the Trippier and Varane deals are all but done, the fact that the Manchester Evening News and more reliable sources are backing them up means there's definitely a strong possibility that we are on the road to sign Varane and Trippier. You know, what Samuel Lutka said regarding Varane is a deal in late July between Manchester United and Varane looks very, very likely. Sources close to the player and the deal said they'd be stunned if this deal doesn't happen. Varane will finish his holiday, then he will change clubs. That's come out from the Manchester Evening News, and that links to the Sun story. And look, even though the Sun, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, the fact that the Manchester Evening News and Samuel Lutka, who is a reliable journalist, is basically saying the same thing. I think it's true that, you know, we could be signing Varane and Trippier before the end of the transfer window. Leo Hilden said he would take Rice as well. I'd take Declan Rice at Man United. He's a very, very good player. Can play back five with Wan-Bissaka at right centre back. Possibly. I'm not a fan of the back five system. Niall Sane says, can you see Trippier, CAMAVINGA happening? On your point about Arsenal, they can't say anything. They can't even beat Hibs in pre-season. Shitfest 8th place. I mean, Arsenal are a joke club, but CAMAVINGA and Trippier is both a possibility, but I think it's one or the other. It's Sancho, Varane, and one other key signing. I don't count Tom Heaton as a key signing. It's Sancho, Varane, and one more, but I couldn't tell if that one was going to be CAMAVINGA. I couldn't tell if that one was going to be Trippier, but recent indications, like, yeah, it looks like it's going to be Trippier for that one more. People saying Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves could be available. I think it's a good deal to do, depending on price, but I think there's better options out there than Ruben Neves. I've seen him play a lot this season, and I was not that impressed by Ruben Neves. Locatelli will probably go to Juventus. There's stories about Locatelli going to Arsenal, but why the fuck would Locatelli go to Arsenal? Like, really, let's be honest. Why would Locatelli go to Arsenal? He does not want to downgrade. And all of that. George Calabrese says that Raphael Varane has decided to go to Manchester United, and United will make a formal offer for him in the coming days. If the offer is worth more than 50 million euros, Varane will become a Manchester United player in the coming days. That's obviously the big story that's come out and all of that. We're still waiting for Romano to do a big tweet about Varane. I think that's what we're waiting for, but big news regarding Raphael Varane to Manchester United and all of that. Any questions for me, please do pop them down below in the live chat. I'll try and read out, respond, and reply to as many questions as possible. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can hit 100 likes by the end of the stream. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football and all of that. Niall Kane says, new member, can you see Trippier, CAMAVINGA happening on your point about Arsenal? They can't say anything. Yeah, I read that one. I read that one. Mr. Randomizer says, next transfer window, would you get Clement Lenglet to pair with Varane as a French connection or Harry Maguire? I'd probably keep with Harry Maguire. I haven't seen enough of Lenglet to be like, boom, I get him Dylan Duffy says, hi, LS Talks Football. I disagree. Sorry, I think Phil Jones is a fantastic player. I agree he has bad games, but he ain't the worst player. Phil Jones is better than Lindelof, says Dylan Duffy. Does anyone agree with that in the live chat? Would you play Phil Jones? Would you play Lindelof? I still think Lindelof's better. Maybe if Phil Jones didn't have that bad injury record, he'd be better, but I disagree. But that's an interesting opinion. Alice, is there any news on Declan Rice? Says Niall Kane. Well, the news on Declan Rice is United want him, but West Ham won't sell him for any less than £90 million. For us to get Declan Rice, we'd need to sell Paul Pogba and have the funds to sign Declan Rice, or Declan Rice to push a move. Declan Rice obviously would rather have Chelsea than United. There's a chance that Declan Rice could come to United. He did ask on international duty Luke Shaw, Maguire about possible moves to Manchester United. But as I've said time and time again, I don't think Declan Rice is going to happen this summer. Look, I said to you at the beginning of the transfer window, if Man United sign Declan Rice, I will give £100 away to one of you subscribers. I'll give one of you subscribers £100. So if you seriously think Man United are going to sign Declan Rice, subscribe, because you could get £100. But unless we sell Paul Pogba, it's not going to happen. We do have Lingard to lower the price. Like, never say never. United could shock us and have a fucking amazing transfer window. Rice, Pogba stays, Varane, Sancho. But look, Varane and Sancho is very generous of the Glazers, and I just think Declan Rice on top of that, who do the Glazers think we are, honestly? I mean, we should be getting that, but yeah. Indeed, you're right. I think Rice is more realistic, but I actually think Ndidi's a better player, personally myself, but that's an unpopular opinion. Would you take Ciro Immobile at Man United? Like, he's a good player. Like, I'd take him, but like, he wouldn't be in my top 10 transfers to Man United, because I just think, we've got Cavani, we don't need a striker. If I was going to be, the only striker it's worth us getting this summer is Harry Kane and Erling Haaland are the only two signers I'd accept. Harry Kane and Erling Haaland are the only two strikers I'd let Man United sign this summer, because Cavani's here for another year. Martial can play striker, Griezmann can play striker, and even Rashford can play striker. So there's no point buying a striker unless it's a 1 in a million opportunity to sign Haaland or Kane, personally, and all of that. Alice, can you comment on the midfield in my co-ed team here in Dallas? I have no idea about the midfield team in Dallas. Rice only wants Chelsea, and you're probably right there, George A. Hello, I'm from Indonesia. Hello to you in Indonesia. Daniel Fleming says, do you think Jesse Lingard could leave Man U and come to my club, West Ham? Definitely. Look, Man United aren't going to use Jesse Lingard, so they might as well sell him. Look, we did this with Chris Smalling last summer. We wanted 20 million for Chris Smalling. We kept holding out, seeing if we could get more than 20 million. Then we just went, well, we need to sell him. And we said, Roma, 15 million pounds, he's yours. I think West Ham will get Jesse Lingard, but I think it'll be the last week of the transfer window that they managed to get Jesse Lingard done, because Man United are just hoping that if they take time, West Ham will give them an extra £5 million, because we're run by the Glazers. It's all about saving a couple quid, so there's definitely a chance. But I think Lingard will join West Ham. Ronaldo, Camavinga, Sancho, and Varane to win the league. I mean, that would be an insane transfer window. I mean, I think we could win the league with that, but Arsenal think they can win the league if they sign Ben White. So, if Arsenal can win the league with adding Ben White to their shit squad, then we can definitely win the league with that. No offence that nothing has been agreed. Personal terms have been unofficially agreed, but we're waiting for someone like Fabrizio Romano to announce they've been agreed. Obviously, the very, very reliable journalist Mohamed Basfani said that the deal is very, very close to being agreed. We know there's an agreement in place between United and Varane, and United will pay those wages. But in terms of Man United and Real Madrid, nothing's been agreed. We are in contact with Real Madrid, but in terms of Man United and Varane, it's kind of been agreed in that sense of we know Varane will join and all that. And there's big news regarding Raphael Varane to Man United the next week, I think. Something it's going to massive. I think this Varane week, we've had Sancho week. I think this is Varane week. There's the Trippier story as well, but this is Varane week, pre-season and Varane week. That's what I think it is. Please do pop any questions to me down below in the live chat. And, of course, subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. We are 3 subscribers away, 3 subs away from 15.2K. 3 subscribers away from 15.2K. So, please, subscribe. Subscribe fucking now. No, I'm joking, but actually, please do. Do we need a CDM? Yes, indeed. I agree with that. Mr. Randomizer said, I'd rather Lindelof than Jones. Even a striker can play better than Phil Jones. I said that. I agree. No more pennies till the Glazers out. Yeah, I mean, hit that like button for Glazers out. Look, we could sign Declan Rice. We could sign CAMAVINGA. We could sign Ronaldo. We could sub around. We could sign Sancho. We could sign Erling Haaland and Harry Kane and Jack Grealish as transfer winner. But I'm going to be Glazers out. Unless the Glazers invest hundreds of millions of pounds every summer and win us Premier League and Champions League and start acting like Roman Abramovich and start acting like Sheikh Mansour, I will always be Glazers out. One good summer, if we sign Sancho If we sign Sancho, if we sign Varane and we get the Varane over the line, which looks likely, we sign Sancho, we basically sign Varane. Say we sign Trippier, and say we sign CAMAVINGA and we keep Pogba. That's a fantastic transfer window, but I'll still be Glazers out. I just saw a comment, but I missed it. Thoughts on Solskjaer wanting to implement the 4-3-3 formation this season? I think there's no point to implement the formation if we didn't sign a proper CDM, and I agree. I 100% agree. Like, I'm a big fan of the 4-3-3 formation, but you need a proper CDM, and Matic is the only one that can hold. Maybe he has plans to use James Garner, but I think that would be shocking with no Premier League experience. Maybe he wants to use Fred and McTominay at a CDM when they're not really a CDM, but maybe we are going to sign a CDM. Maybe he knows we're going to get a Declan Rice over the line, or maybe he knows we're going to get CAMAVINGA over the line. But I think this third signing, we know it's Sancho, we know it's Varane, but I think this third signing could be Kieran Trippier. So that makes me think, well, if the third signing is Kieran Trippier, we're not getting a CDM. But maybe Ollie's like, we're getting a CDM, we're playing the 4-3-3, no more McFred. Now, the thing is, now you've signed Raphael Varane, you don't need to play McFred. Like, I've said this before on the channel, like, we only play McFred to protect Maguire and Lindelof. When Maguire and Bailly play, we don't have McFred. When Maguire and Tuanzebe play, we don't have McFred. So Varane is going to bench Lindelof unless Ollie fucking hell thinks Lindelof's better than Varane, which would be absolutely stupid because he's a new £50 million centre-back that's going to join us. Because there's not going to be McFred anyway next season with Maguire and Varane because, you know, there's no point. But, you know, if you don't have a CDM, who plays at CDM? Fred, McTominay or Matic? You know, do you give Tuanzebe run a CDM? Is he going to play Tier and Trippier at CDM? So you can play Lindelof. Oh, please don't play Lindelof at CDM. You never know, but yeah. Niall Kane said, would you take the wee winger from Italy at Man United? His name is gone, but I remember he took off in the final and knocked pacey winger, scored pretty much every game in the Euros. Are you talking about Jose? Because I would take Jose at Man United, but we just signed Jadon Sancho, so I wouldn't now. Like if we didn't sign Jadon Sancho, Jose would be my second choice right winger. 100% if we didn't sign Jadon Sancho, if that's the one you're talking about. David De Gea or Hendo, I get asked this a lot, but I'm team David De Gea. I rate both keepers. I have no issue with Dean Henderson, but I still think David De Gea is just too over-criticised. I think he's better. Georgie says, did you see Varane against Chelsea in the Champions League? He was poor. He didn't look good at the Euros either. Yeah, I know Varane's had some poor games, but Varane's won it all. Like, Varane's had some good games. He's had some poor games. He just needs a consistent partner, and he's got pace and, like, you know, at the end of the day, Man United could, no matter how good our team is, even if we get a CDM, Man United cannot win a Premier League title with Maguire and Lindelof because Lindelof is not good enough. So the fact that Raphael Varane's won the World Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League, basically proves he's a good centre-back because even if Lindelof played with Van Dijk, you can't see him winning it all. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm not worried and all of that. Arsenal fans live rent-free in my head. I just like to banter them, that's all. Goldbrave is good holding player. We could use him as a replacement. Yeah, but I'd probably go with Jimmy Garner. But Jimmy Garner's such a massive risk because he's never played Premier League football. What do you think about Razumi fans for... Oh, what do you think about racist fans, England for Sancho and Marcus Rashford? Ban them from the stadiums. It's just stupid. Like racism is just a lack of education. Because if you're going to hate on someone for the colour of their skin, then you're thick. Because it makes no difference. Look, if you're a dickhead, you're a dickhead. It doesn't matter where you're from, what your skin colour is, what your hair colour is. If you're a knobhead, you're a knobhead. So for someone to hate on someone for the colour of their skin, it's just a lack of education. Like, what difference does it make? So yeah, racist fans should just be banned from the stadiums. Let's be honest. First, Marcus confirmed Sancho. Now Mason talks about him. Latest on United channel just announced. I honestly, I generally believe the story that United have lost the clip of the Sancho announcement. I generally believe the story that United have literally lost the videotape announcing Sancho, because why haven't we announced him? Like, all the tier 1 journalists basically said we were going to announce Sancho on Thursday. We haven't. These tier 1 journalists are right about 90% of things. Definitely a fuck up. Definitely a fuck up in the United PR team. Like, someone is getting sacked in the morning. Someone's getting sacked in the morning at Man United. I tell you that, because they would have announced Sancho by now, surely. I agree with you. Arsenal fans are so annoyed. Do you think Green would have a breakthrough season? I think Green is going to have a brilliant season. I think, you know, he didn't go away on England camp, and I think that was what made him have a poor season at the start. Like, Greenwood started last season quite slow. He had a lot going on. Greenwood's been so focused on Man United that I think this is going to be Greenwood's season. You know, he's had 2 good seasons, but I think this could be Greenwood's takeoff season. I think Sancho gives him that competition. Like, Tellers gave Luke Shaw that competition. I think Sancho does give Greenwood that competition, and this could be a big, big season for Mason Greenwood. and all of that. You getting nobody. Sancho changed his mind. He's going to Everton. I mean, look, if that ever happened, we'd get bantered so bad. Like, we would be Arsenal. That's something Ben White would do. Oh my God, imagine. If Pogba stays, I don't think United will sign a CDM. So who plays in the holding? Exactly, that's literally what we've been saying. I agree with that. I think Trippier is going to be that third signing. Merrick says, do you think United can play a single pivot with Bruno Pogba ahead of them? Do you think United will act defensively? Well, it just depends who plays in that pivot. Should McNeil graduate to the first team in Rashford's absence? Well, McNeil or Hugo definitely, or Joe Hugo definitely deserve to get some more first team minutes. 100%. Maybe pre-season, like, you know how we played Chong, Angel Gomez, and Greenwood a lot in that pre-season. I think maybe take McNeil or Joe Hugo to pre-season. There was a rumor about Man United pre-season. Let me Man United derby. There was a leaked team sheet for the Man United derby game. If I can find it, I'll read it out. But there's a leaked team sheet. I'm gonna say, give me a second, guys. Please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're not already subscribed and all of that. And of course, hit that like button. We're on the road to 16,000 subscribers. So every like, sub, share would mean a lot on the channel. You know, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe down below to the channel so you don't miss out on any transfer news and all of that. But I can't find the story, but Phil Jones is set to start for Man United versus Derby, and so are a few youngsters. I think not Donny van der Beek, but Greenwood would be, and all of that. There's a lot of players that are set to start for Man United versus Derby, which will be really, really interesting. But I would like to see Joe Hugill and Charlie Manil talking of that. But I cannot find the leaked lineup. For the Man United Derby game. But if that does come up on my feed again, I will discuss that. Now, Kane says, if Man United get Varane, Sancho, CAMAVINGA, Rice, Cesare, the Italian winger, Man United will challenge and put out the biggest statement in the league, in my opinion. I mean, it's 100%, I agree. That would be a massive challenge, but at the end of the day, never gonna happen. It's not FIFA. Name and shame them on the billboard. We should do that to the racists. We should name and shame them and all of that. Can't see Cesare ending up at Man United. He's been linked to Chelsea, actually. If Chelsea don't get Haaland, they're going to go to Cesare. I agree. He's not going to come. We signed Sancho. There's no need for him, but he's a good player. He's a very good player. Man United and West Ham both take so long with transfers. It's just so typical and annoying. Look, I think Lingard will join West Ham literally on deadline day, like Chris Smalling did to Roma. Why are we buying Trippier back at right back competition for Wan-Bissaka? United need to sell like 8 players. We have like 27, 28 senior players. We need to sell Pereira, Jones, Lingard, Dalot. Definitely. Lee Grant should have gone. Matic should go. Matic should realistically go, but you can't sell Matic if you don't sign a CDM. I don't agree. Lack of education is always to blame. Some people are educated but choose to be ignorant bigots. Yeah, possibly, but like 95% of racists are literally bald, fat white men who don't have a job, probably dropped out of school before GCSEs, and hooligans that probably walk into Job Centre Plus looking for a job. I think a lot of it is lack of education, but you do get very snobby bigots as well. But I think majority of racism is just lack of education. What do you think of the rumour of the 4-3-3 formation? I love it. I love the rumour. I love the no Fred, but if we don't get a CDM, how is it possible? Why do Arsenal fans get excited about Ben White? Generally, if you go on Twitter, there are Arsenal fans saying that Ben White for £55 million is a better transfer than Varane for £45 million, because Varane will be 50 million euros, which is £45 million. We could get Raphael Varane for £10 million cheaper than Arsenal would like to get Ben White for. But Arsenal fans say that Ben White's a better player, better value for money, and a better signing. Like, the delusion, the bloody delusion. Guys, by the way, we are 2 subscribers away from 15.2k. 2 subscribers away. So please do subscribe down below if you're not subscribed, because on the channel, as I've said time and time again, I do daily Manchester United transfer updates. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on that. There'll be watch-alongs, match reactions, match previews, and daily Manchester United transfer update videos throughout the transfer window. So if we sign a player, I'll do a live stream. If we're close to signing a player, I'll do a live stream. If we sell a player, if some major news happens, if the Glazers finally sell up, there'll be a live stream. So if you don't want to miss out on any Manchester United news stories, just subscribe. Just subscribe to the channel, so then you won't. I'm just going to get something up in that. If you've just joined the live stream, The latest on Raphael Varane is like this deal is basically going to happen. Probably that this the last week of July. Basically, the news coming in about Raphael Varane is next week. Next week, people are saying Varane to United. That is the situation. I've just found the tweet. Man United predicted lineup to face Derby County in Sunday's friendly is Tom Heaton, Wan-Bissaka, Teden Mengi, Tuanzebe, Telles, Garner, Matic, Alanga, Mata, Sholatiri, and Greenwood. So a lot of youngsters expected to play in the Derby game. Sholatiri, Alanga, Greenwood, Matic, Telles, Garner. Lots of players. Mengi will be interesting to see. Mengi, Tuanzebe, I think will make a really good partnership. So very, very exciting to see the amount of players that are likely to play for United in the pre-season friendly against Derby. And you know what? I know Sancho ain't going to be there. I know Rashford ain't going to be there. I know Bruno ain't going to be there. I know Pogba ain't going to be there. But I am excited to watch these pre-season friendlies. I don't know about you guys. I'm very, very excited to watch these pre-season friendly. Marcelo Brozovic for CDM if we don't get Rice. So there's a rumour about him, but I think we were told that was never going to happen. Mr. Randomizer says Arsenal are the most dumb club and have the most stupid stands except Don Robbie. But when you have Ty, then your club is full of aliens, says Mr. Randomizer. I don't actually know which one Ty is. I won't lie. I mean, look, AFTV, brilliant channel. Whenever Arsenal lose, AFTV is my favourite channel. But there are some deluded Arsenal fans. And the deluded Arsenal fans to me are on Twitter. You know what? AFT sometimes speak facts. But I did love it when DT said, right at the beginning of the season, when Arsenal beat Man U 1-0, I think it was DT, he said, you're going to finish 10th. You're going to finish 10th, blood, or whatever they say. And we didn't finish 10th, but you finished 8th. And that always makes me laugh. Mata got a new contract. I don't know why Juan Mata got a new contract. I do not know why Juan Mata got a new contract. Imagine if we sold our whole first team and get a new team for the same price. Jeez. If we sell Matic, then Ricky going to go on strikes as rebuild. And maybe Sancho would be like Depay and then Van der Beek, defender who decorated the bench. Look, I don't think Sancho's going to flop. I don't think Sancho's going to flop. We don't need to talk about Sancho flopping unless he flops. You know that. George A., who's a Chelsea fan, says, with the backing Ole is getting this season, he has to deliver at least one trophy this season or fans will be demanding a sacking. Surely, look, Ole's got Sancho. Ole's going to get Varane. Ole could even get Trippier. He's likely to keep Pogba now, and he could even get CAMAVINGA. And if you pull all of those off, Ole, you've got to win a trophy, or I will be Ole out. You have to win a trophy. I mean, I think we have to win a trophy even if he doesn't get backed. Because, you know, Man United cannot go 5 seasons without a trophy. But I 100% agree. I want to see Garner. Well, Garner is likely to play for Manchester United during pre-season. You know, he's in the leaked Man United lineup versus Derby. So I'm very, very excited to see James Garner. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news regarding Manchester United ins and outs this transfer window. If we're close to signing a player like we're close to signing Varane, there'll be a live stream to keep you updated. The updates on Varane, for those of you that just joined the live stream, is that Varane is very much in talk to Manchester United. Agreement is about to be reached. Man United will give Varane what he wants. Personal terms are not an issue between Manchester United and Varane. Unofficial agreement made. Man United are now progressing to get the deal done with Real Madrid, and Varane is likely to join Manchester United once he finishes his holiday, as he's made it clear he wants to go to Manchester United and leave Real Madrid. So that is the latest on Raphael Varane for all of you wondering that. So please do subscribe, because if any more updates come out regarding Raphael Varane from Tier 1 or Tier 2 journalists, I will keep you updated. Obviously, we're still all waiting for the Sancho announcement. Why isn't Sancho being announced? When is the Sancho thing going to be announced? And all of that. And of course, Trippier to Man United. Varane and Trippier all but done to join Man United next week. You know what? If the Sun get that right, fair play. But I would take that story with a pinch of salt. But, you know, if this time next week we sign Varane and Trippier, fair bloody play. Fair bloody play. Any questions for me, please do put them down below in the live chat. I'm going to try and read out and reply to as many questions as possible. So please do get them down below in the live chat. Hit that like button, share this video. You know, all of that stuff. Dylan Duffy says, hello, Alice Talks Football. Sorry for my disagree. I agree your bets, but sorry, Lindelof is a great player. Phil Jones is a great player. Look, to be fair, you have a fair point thinking Phil Jones is better than Lindelof, but I'd play Lindelof over Phil Jones any day. Daniel Fleming says, what's the future of Donny van der Beek? Alice, do you think Man United will keep him or let him go? I think if a team comes in and gives, like it says, we'll give you 40, 30 million for Raphael, for Donny van der Beek, I think we'd sell him. But I think Man United are going to keep Van der Beek, and I think Van der Beek's happy to stay at Man United. He wants to fight to his place. He wants to get game time. And look, all the news coming out is that United will sign. Well, not sorry. All the news coming out is that lots of indications that Donny's going to say. There was the one rumour about Donny Varane swap deal. There's the one rumour about Donny leaving, but every credible journalist has basically said that Donny van de Beek will probably stay at Man United this summer. You know, look, Pogba's more likely to leave than Donny van de Beek. And the news coming in at the moment is while PSG want Pogba and Pogba's open to a move at PSG, United won't sell him, and United think they can convince Pogba to stay, and Pogba's set to stay. So I don't think Donny. I think Donny will stay at United. I do think Donny van de Beek will stay at United, but I think that's going to be such an interesting one to keep an eye out on, and all of that. Is the relationship between Real Madrid and Manchester United good? Well, the Glazers and Florentino Perez were like the leaders of the Super League, so they must have some kind of connection. They're both greedy idiots, but if they're both greedy idiots, they're not going to negotiate well together. There was obviously the De Gea situation between Man United and Real Madrid, but that was in the past. We've given them Ronaldo, we've given them Beckham. Like, I think we got a decent relationship with Real Madrid. I mean, our relationship with Dortmund must be fucking dreadful. We got the Sancho deal done. So at the end of the day, I don't think the relationship really matters. We got a really good relationship with Ajax because that was it proved because it was so easy to get Van der Beek. But even if your relationship isn't good, i.e. Man U and Dortmund, you can still get the deals done. You can still get the deals done. AFT is amazing when they lose. It's brilliant. DT, Titan, Turkish, and the Don. I love watching AFTV when they lose. I did feel sorry though for them because they got to a point when they were 15th, 16th last season where I just felt bad. And then Chelsea had to give them 3 points and then they didn't look as shit. But yeah, AFTV when Arsenal lose is the place to be. I'm not gonna lie, if Arsenal lose, I'm going on them watch-alongs. Because they are Banter FC. You know, as much as you love it, as much as you like to deny Arsenal, as much as you like to call us Banter FC, you're Banter FC. The Arsenal slander on this channel. I think bantering Arsenal is just fun. Let's be honest. Avoid City and we win the league. What a start! Look, I think City are going to win the Premier League, but you get Sancho, you get Varane. I think we can definitely challenge because Diaz took City from 20 points off the Premier League to winning the Premier League quite comfortably. A CDM can have such an impact. Virgil van Dijk took Liverpool up that next level to Champions League winners, to Premier League winners. Ruben Diaz took City up that next level because they lost company and they weren't very good in the 1920 season. They weren't that good at all. And I think a centre-back can take it up the next level. And I think a centre-back can have more impact than any other player. And I said, look, Varane's a partner for Maguire. That improves Maguire. Varane's got pace, so we don't need McFred in front of them for protection. But we also can play a high line, more attacking, expansive football with Varane. And you know what? If we sign Varane, and it looks very, very likely we're going to sign Varane, look, I'm 90% certain Manchester United will sign Raphael Varane. But you sign Varane, United can go up a level. Diaz took City up a level. Virgil van Dijk took Liverpool up a level. So you, a centre-back, could have a massive impact. You know, you could win the league. Even if we don't sign the CDM, there's still a chance we could win the league with Sancho and with Varane because they're top players. But I still think, you know, if we play McFred next season, we won't win the Premier League. But the rumour coming in is 4-3-3 without McFred. There is a chance we could win the Premier League. And look, you know, the Arsenal fan tweeted, Wellbeast, that Arsenal fan said, you know, what's to stop Arsenal winning the Premier League next season? They're not in Europe. They've got less games. Well, you know what? If Arsenal fans think that Ben White, the only signing they're going to make this summer, the only player that wants to join Arsenal, is going to make them win the league, then Sancho and Varane could definitely make Man United want to win the league. Talking of outs quickly, Tuanzebe looks to go to Newcastle. Tellez was probably going to stay. Williams out on loan. Mengi will go out on loan. Mattis obviously staying. Daniel James could be going to Brighton, but that news has gone quiet. And of course, Jesse Lingard news. But I think a lot of the outs regarding Manchester United, Delo, Lingard, Pereira, I think a lot of the outs will happen after pre-season because we need a lot of players for pre-season because, you know, Rashford, Sancho aren't really going to be involved in pre-season. Luke Shaw won't be, Maguire won't be, and all that. Duncan Castles, pretty credible journalist, has come out and said that Raphael Varane has told Florentino Perez he wants to leave Real Madrid and wants to be allowed to discuss offers from clubs such as Manchester United. Perez is now in the process of selling Varane. 50 million euros would be accepted. I mean, we already know this from other journalists, but it's happy that Duncan Castles, reliable journalist, has confirmed. We found out 2 days ago that Varane did a finish from the Athletic that Varane did go to Florentino Perez and tell him he wants to leave. We found out earlier from George Caballeros that 50 million euros would be enough. If Man United offer Real Madrid 50 million euros, Varane is theirs. United will probably offer Real Madrid 50 million euros. That's 45 million quid for a top centre-back. No reason not to do it. Duncan Castles has said it. So Varane to Manchester United, seconds, days away. I think Varane will join Manchester United next week. Look, I think I'd be shocked right now if we don't sign Raphael Varane. You know, there was obviously the Sergio Ramos things 5 years ago, but like, we knew from reliable journalists that he might be using us. Romano saying that he believes Varane will leave. Fabrizio Romano thinks Varane to United is likely. Fabrizio Romano said that Varane wants to come to Man United. Personal terms aren't an issue, so I really think this Varane deal is going to happen in the coming days. Please do hit that subscribe button, by the way, guys. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss any stories. If we sell a player, there's a live stream. If we buy a player, there's a live stream. Any updates on us buying players, like personal terms being agreed, there's a live stream. So any credible news that comes out regarding players Man United might sign or close to sign or do sign, there will be a live stream. So please make sure you subscribe to that. Match reactions, match previews, and watch-alongs also coming up on the channel. So make sure to subscribe so you do not miss any of this big content while we wait for the next season and all of that. Are we going to win a title by 2022? 21 in 22. I hope so, but you never know. Wan-Bissaka will not be good as a CDM or stick to being FIFA manager. Thank you very much for the super chat. Someone says that Phil Jones is the GOAT. I mean, Phil Jones is the GOAT. What can I say? Phil Jones is better than Virgil van Dijk. You heard it here first. Phil Jones is better than Virgil van Dijk. Phil Jones has more Premier Leagues than Steven Gerrard. You know what makes me laugh is like, people will be like, this player's better than this player because they won a Champions League. Or this player's better than this player because they won a Premier League. Phil Jones has won a Premier League. Steven Gerrard hasn't. So I think he won a Premier. He did win the Premier League. Don't agree with keeping Mata and Matic is so dumb and incompetent. If I had to keep one of Mata and Matic, I'd keep Matic just for the pure sense that we don't have any CDMs. But we got Bruno, who can play Mata's position. We've got Donny, who can play Mata's position, who are both better. We've got Sancho, who can play on the right. And you've got Greenwood that can play on the right. And you've got Amad Diallo, who can play on the right. And I would play Amad Diallo over Wan Mata. I would personally play Amad Diallo over Wan Mata because I think he offers something new. He offers something different. We know what Mata's a bit slow. We know what Mata offers. So I do think the whole keeping Mata decision is something I personally disagree with. I just don't think there was any need to keep Wan Mata, to be fair. Can Maguire, Varane possibly be the best centre partnership in the world? I mean, there was Varane and Ramos, and I don't think Maguire comes close to Varane Ramos, but I don't think so. But it's one of the best. It could be one of the best next season. You know, John Stones and Diaz was probably the best centre back partnership last season. You know, and there's the Bonucci-Chiellini one, so definitely one of the best. So possibly. I can't stand the Liverpool rivalry, but all the Chelsea I detest big time. CFC formed in 2003. It says Ultra. Duncan Castle says Tottenham is competing with Man United for Varane. Couldn't they reject you, Spurs? Do you think you can get Varane? Do one. You're not even in the Champions League. Do you think Varane wants to go from Real Madrid to play in whatever? What is even the tournament called? It's like it's a BTEC Europa League. Spurs, Banter FC. Sanjay says Trippier and Shaw will be great fullbacks as they're great at crossing the ball. I agree, and I think it would really help Wan-Bissaka. I think Wan-Bissaka's a top player, but he might need that competition. I think the thing about Trippier is his weakness is defending and his strength is going forward. So I think he can prove Wan-Bissaka in an attacking sense and a positional sense as well. Will Phil Jones leave? Hopefully. I think we'll probably find out after the transfer window. It's hard to sell him. You know, you have to do a Sanchez thing. If you let Phil Jones leave, you have to let him go on a free. Like, just upset the fact that no one's going to pay any money for an injured player. That's shit. I think Varane and Maguire's a match made in heaven. Top 3 centre-back pairings, definitely. I agree. No point in selling Donny. We all know there's high chances of Pogba leaving for a free next year. Donny must play. He can get game time to settle as he's a top class and will be an asset surely. Yeah, that's exactly. I think we need to keep Donny around because if Pogba does leave for a free, we've got to be looking for a Donny replacement and a Paul Pogba replacement. And that means McFred. We don't want to see McFred next season. Pogba is staying. Rumour is that Paul Pogba is set to say. Rumour is Paul Pogba is set to say. Chelsea were a good club, actually. Chelsea are a good club. They won the Champions League. You know, Chelsea, I still think are a better team than Man United right now, even though we finished above them because they won the Champions League. Duncan Castle's told Varane, has told Perez he's leaving the club. Yeah, as I said, Varane has told Perez he's leaving the club and all of that. I'm trying to read out a few live chats, so any questions for me, please do get them down below in the live chat. Sir JB says, hey people, hope you're enjoying your Friday night. It is a Friday night, but it's a good Friday night because Varane links, Trippier links. Rumours that Varane and Trippier will be Man United players next week. Deal set to be done next week. Pogba rumours to stay. CAMAVINGA rumours always floating around. Hassan Aouar rumours. A lot of good rumours. A good day for Man United fans. It's a good day for Man United fans. I know Varane is world-class defender, but whenever I watched him in the last year or two, he's been terrible. I've watched Varane have good games. I've watched Varane have bad games. But look, Varane, all I'm saying is, look, I would actually take Jules Koundé over Varane. but there's not that many class centre-backs out there. Varane or Lindelof? For anyone that's doubting Raphael Varane or Victor Lindelof next season. And if you answer Victor Lindelof, you're mad. So that's how I say. This guy says he's a Chelsea fan. What do you think about Mason Mount? I don't think he's really good, but he's only 22. I think Mason Mount's a good player. Like, a lot of people were giving Mason Mount slander after the Euros. Look, Mason Mount was shit at the Euros. He was, but a lot of players were shit at the Euros. He plays in a very negative Southgate system with 2 CDMs behind him. When Bruno plays with McFred behind him, Bruno doesn't always have a good game because we play a negative system. McFred, Bruno can't get much of the ball. Mason Mount was in that exact Ole Gunnar Solskjaer Southgate system. 2 CDMs behind him, couldn't get much of the ball to make an impact on the games. He was not good for England, Mason Mount. But I've watched 80-90% of Chelsea's games last season. Mason Mount was one of their best and most consistent performers and was their player of the year at 22 years of age. I think Mason Mount's a good player, but he's still got a long way to go, but he's definitely a top 4 quality player. I think he's better than Foden. Even though they play different positions, I know they compare, but I think he's actually better than Foden. But I'll get a bit of slack for that. Sell Pogba for £55 million, use £55 million for plus Lingard for Rice, Donny, Bruno, fantastic. I think you have to sell Pogba for £50 million and use Lingard and £60 million for Rice, but good thinking there. Mr. Randomizer says Arsenal Spurs are so shit they may as well be in the Championship. Yeah, they might get relegated in the Championship though, so they might be going down to League One. When will United unveil Sancho? I wish I knew the answer to that. It was all the reliable journalists were saying we were going to announce Sancho Thursday. I mean, I don't know what we're doing. I do not know what the fuck this club is doing. I genuinely am starting to believe this. I thought this rumour was a load of shit that the admin had lost like the memory stick with the Sancho video on. I'm starting to believe this rumour. I am. But they fucked. Sancho's got to be announced tomorrow. Like, and now Sancho's trending. I don't know what's going on. I do not have a clue. I'm sad Giroud is leaving for the Premier League, Serie A, but exciting at the same time. Varane's a good player. Sorry, not Varane. Giroud's a good player, but I think he's not going to get the game time at Chelsea. Sir JB said a top-tier journalist confirmed that Varane is on his way out of Real Madrid. He wants to join Manchester United. I hope the club makes the right bid for him. Literally, if Man United make a €50 million bid for Raphael Varane, he's ours. The rumour is we're going to make that bid next week, and this time next week, Varane's likely to be a Man United player. So a €50 million bid, Raphael Varane is ours. That is the rumour coming in. That's what I believe. So that's what we need to do. Let's not get twisted. Varane is still a top centre-back. He's a massive upgrade on Lindelof. Exactly as JB says. There's a lot of rival fans hating on Varane, but at the end of the day, Varane or Ben White, we'd all say Varane. Varane or Lindelof, we'd all say Varane. So even if you don't like Varane, we could be playing Lindelof. We could be playing Lindelof. And I do like Lindelof as a squad player, but not a regular starter. Not a regular starter. Thoughts on the United jersey? Alice, you want my honest opinion? I don't like it. I don't like it, to be fair. I'm not a big fan of it. Like, it's not bad. I think it might grow on me when the players are playing in it. But right now, I think it's a little bit shit. I just do. I like they're trying to be traditional, but I like the leaked away ones, but that hasn't been official revealed. I'm not a big fan. I won't lie. Do you think that unveils Sancho and Varane together? Unlikely, but if they get this Varane deal officially wrapped up this week, then possibly. But I think United would like to unveil Sancho and Varane separately because they can get more PR, more social media clicks out of it. But it's always a possibility. Imagine thinking Varane isn't world class. Well, I know. At the end of the day, you have to be a top player to win everything in football, and he's won everything in football. So yeah. Giroud always gave us problems, as did Aguero, says Ultra67. Yeah, at least that's a good thing about Giroud leaving Chelsea is as a United fan, we don't have to be too scared of Giroud. Sancho announcement video tomorrow. What a great day, as we'd all be at the beach in Exmouth. I mean, the weather's going to be so nice tomorrow. I might go to the beach if I can get out. I think we will win on Sunday, says Reese. I think we'll beat Derby. I mean, Arsenal can't beat Hibs, but I'm sure we'll beat Derby. Lindelof cost us the Europa League final. Any top centre-back doesn't lose his man like that. Good point there from Joe. Momodou says, why are United not announcing the Sancho deal? The medical was done on Tuesday. It should be announced by now, usually 24 to 48 hours. I hate this football club, man. Slow FC. They call us Manchester United at football club, but we should be called Slow United Football Club. Honestly. How many percentages of Varane to Man United? I'm 90% sure this deal is going to happen. Like, the latest is, look, personal terms aren't an issue. That's basically been agreed. Varane's told Paris he wants to join Manchester United. Man United make a €50 million bid. Varane is ours. Man United are going to speed up negotiations because Varane wants to join Man United straight from his holiday. He's desperate to join. Varane and Trippier rumoured both to be announced next week, apparently. I think Varane's likely to be announced next week. I'm not 100% sure on the Trippier rumours. It has come from The Sun, so do take it with a pinch of salt. But Samuel Luckhurst, the Manchester Evening News, again confirming Trippier rumours. Pretty reliable source. Everyone under the sun said that Varane to Man United is likely. All the reliable Spanish journalists, all the reliable English journalists, all the reliable top journalists like Romano, Mohamed Sweeney said, look, Varane's close. I think to wrap up today's transfer show, to wrap up today's transfer news, to wrap up today's transfer show, Varane to Man United, very, very likely to happen. Trippier heating up. Keep an eye on the Trippier news. Still a chance in CAMAVINGA, but it's looking less and less likely as time goes on. More chance that Pogba is set to stay. So do keep an eye on all of that. But I am going to wrap up today's live stream. But please make sure you do hit that like button. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe down below. Before I wrap up the live stream, I've just been asked for any news on Trippier. Well, obviously, the report today was that Trippier and Varane are set to be announced as Man United players. Next week, the deal will be done. 90 Minutes said that Manchester United and Atletico Madrid are finalising a deal worth £20 million for Kieran Trippier. And Romano said regarding Kieran Trippier today, it's a serious probability that he has the same agency as Varane. Man United are in direct contact with his agents. They made a £12 million bid 3 to 4 years ago. Trippier and Varane are represented by the same agency. We were in talks massively with Varane, also in talks with Trippier. Romano says Trippier to Man United is a huge possibility, and obviously sources coming in that Atletico Madrid will sell him for £20 million. Trippier is pushing for the move. But as I said, Varane to Man United, 90% club, 90% likely. Trippier to Man United getting more and more likely. Keep an eye out on it. Obviously, Samuel Luckhurst said that Kieran Trippier is optimistic about joining Manchester United before the transfer window closes. He's confident a transfer to Man United will materialise. Obviously, that has come in from thingy-majiggy. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning into today's live stream. I am going to end the live stream here, but please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're not subscribed to the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, do subscribe down below, hit that like button, share this video. If you had any live chats that I was not able to answer in today's video, if for some reason I wasn't able to answer any of your live chats, just comment them in tomorrow's video. So stay subscribed, put the bell notifications on, and any live chats I couldn't answer in today's video, I'll try and answer in tomorrow's live stream. So sorry about that. Please like, please subscribe, please share. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye.